You're listening to BoomBox Weekly.
Y'all already know what it is. We are here with another episode of BoomBox Weekly, and our special guest of the week is Malcolm Dwain Carter, a film director making moves out in the industry. I am Gentel Sharrie.
And I'm Omar Cook. You already know what time it is. Another episode, Boombox Weekly. We're here, my man, Malcolm Dwain Carter, the one and only. My man is making moves out there, making some dope independent films. You guys gotta check it out. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank y'all so much for having me. It's an honor.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for coming, man. So like I said, you're doing some dope moves. Obviously, you've got, a couple of your projects back there, the season, the cinematic affair, blackout, you know what I'm saying? Major CEO moves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk about the season, it's streaming on platforms, how did you come up with the project?
I'm trying not to dive too deep into it because it's a lot of meaning behind it, but I started the project back in like 2021. I was going through a major shift in life. I left my job. That's when the pandemic happened. And, I was just trying to figure out exactly like the next project I wanted to do. But during that process, I was like, I'm going through a lot of stuff in life. Let me make a project that has something to do with like seasonal change, whether it's for, relationships or if it's for career wise. So, that's basically how I started off. I did it as a template, made it as a short film pilot. And then I was able to debut it at our company, the Cinematic Affair, in 2021 of July. And so after that, I got like the crowd's reaction. And so, once I got that confirmation of exactly how everybody enjoyed it, I just kept it going from there and made like a second episode, third episode, fourth episode, because it was supposed to be a TV series. But, after talking with my agent, trying to figure out exactly what was going to be the right route to go, because I wanted it to be a TV series, like on a big time network. He was like, do it as a movie, build that up, just, make like different chapters, part one, part two, part three. And then after that, we'll just see exactly how it goes when you pitch it to a network.
Yeah, it's very dope, very, very dope, and independent filmmaking, man, that comes with a lot, obviously, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and it seems like it's paying off for you. How exactly did you get into filmmaking?
So I started in high school. I went to Barbara Jordan High School for Careers here in Houston, Texas. Ninth grader, loving the world of film, loving the world of acting, because I started off as an actor. I was acting since I was young. And so, once I went to high school, I was in like a computer science class. And that was like nothing I wanted to do. So left that class, went to audio and visual class. And after that, that's when I started, I learned how to edit, learn how to do audio, learn how to film, learn how to just do everything I possibly could in the world of filmmaking. And so I think I took it serious my junior year of high school. And then after that, that's when I was like, all right, I'm about to do something crazy because this is something nobody in my family ever does. So I decided to take a leap of faith.
Now, do you still act and direct?
Oh yeah. I was in the season I was the leading man, which
I know that's right.
Yeah, I don't recommend that for a lot of people, because unless you have like a major team, because I had a team, but it wasn't a major to where I would be able to take the load off, because it was like really stressful. I was here, I was there, I was directing. I did have a co-director, but at the same time, in that boss mindset, it's kind of hard to juggle between being like a main actor and then also being the director. So I still love acting to this day, and I got a new acting project that I'm going to be doing in the summer. So yeah, that's my first love. I can't give that up.
Okay, congrats. Have you thought about doing any more feature films? Do you have any that you have like working on? I know you said you have a film this summer.
Yeah, so the film that's happening this summer, that's my business partner's film called Yo 40. And I edited the project, did the graphics for it, and I'm also an actor in it. I play Uncle Jax. Later on in the year, I'm going to be starting the process of my second feature film. It's called The Maxwell Gamble, and it's going to be a part of the season series. So if you've seen part one of the season, I decided to take things in my way and just make a whole entire universe like Marvel does it, but it's going to be a lot more dramatic. And so after that, I'm going to be working on the season 2. And I already started the script on that one, but I was like, let me do another project before I start on part 2.
Okay.
That's dope. That's dope. Creating your own world, creating your own stories around your own world. That's very dope. You know, we see like Fast and the Furious, they got like 10 films and whatnot. You know, keep going, whether it's the same thing, you know, somebody just racing in Mexico this time, somebody racing in Puerto Rico, you know, just on some different stuff. But how
Yeah.
long do you see yourself carrying out the season?
So I'm definitely gonna, of course, have it be 3 chapters. You know, part one, thank God that was able to be released in January. Part two, you know, I'm definitely raising the stakes, but the reason why I'm doing like a project before is because I'm trying to get a bigger budget. And that's the plan for it. Get a bigger budget, grow bigger, just make sure that it's just top of the line quality in my caliber. And then, you know, part three is supposed to be like the final chapter of the season. And then, of course, you know, I have different type of spinoffs that's going to be connected. And my end goal, of course, is to have the season be an actual TV show. So whether it's on a major streaming platform or it's on a major network, that's my end goal for the project. I want it to be an actual show. Hopefully 5 to 6 seasons. I don't know.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You're working really hard. So like the more persistent you are, I feel like the more things are likely to happen. So I believe it will. So
Thank
with
you.
all your projects, what type of change would you like to see in the industry, the film industry?
Oh Lord, y'all trying to make me because I got some. I'm gonna try to make sure I say it in a way that's very professional. You know, us as African Americans, we're slowly getting the process of being more in the spotlight. That's what we need. We have so much raw talent and it needs to be placed out there. We have a very low percentage in the industry. For what I can remember, I believe it's like 7% of us inside of the entertainment industry. And that's very low. And there's not a lot of mainstream Black films or Black TV shows. Like it's not as mainstream as other projects that's coming from the different community. And I definitely just want to see just a different type of stuff, you know, like I want to see us doing vampire stuff. I want us to see doing like more sci-fi stuff. We already got the drama, we already got the action, but I believe that we can make it happen because we're super talented, we're super creative, and I don't see why that can't happen. So definitely just expanding the world of entertainment in the Black industry. We need it to be just normalized. Black luxury, that's a big thing for me. You know, no problem against the films that have something to do with like drugs or gangs, because that does exist. You know, I've been in the world to where I've seen that firsthand. But Black luxury is a thing, and I would love for that to actually happen. And you know, that's what I do for my project. So I like to push that a lot more.
No doubt, no doubt. And that's like you said, that's big. You know, Black luxury is big. You know, we have to also see ourselves in that type of light as well.
Yeah,
And this day and age, you know, it's so many opportunities for filmmakers to get their work out. I think you're going to be seeing more of a rise of Black filmmakers, you know, just with opportunity to be able to create their own films, create their own platforms, and create their own narratives. You know, we're not really controlled by the bigger studios anymore. You feel me?
right.
You know, and the more of us that come together, you know, it's going to create a new movement, you know, a new wave. You know what I'm saying? We're going to start weeding out the negative imagery of different platforms, you know, the shade rooms, you know, the platforms that, you know, the Zeus TVs. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's time for us to really start pushing some real narratives here. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, kudos to you for what you're doing.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, it needs to be changed up so much. You know, I see it all online, but I think the route with Tubi, I believe that's actually making that change. Because you know, I've sat down and watched different projects that's on Tubi because you know, since I'm a part of the Tubi family, I want to see what else our people are doing. And you know, shout out to Detroit, people in Dallas, you know, all of them. They got a lot of stuff that they're doing, and they are just building that platform and they're building these projects. You know, we have your pros and cons of what you see, but everybody is still in the process of learning. You know, everybody doesn't have a $1 million plus budget. You know, you have to work with what you got. So, I mean, I see it as something to where it's going to continue to rise, and I just can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next 5 years.
Are you looking to have like a long-term deal with Tubi, and have like your films more so streamed on there than other platforms, or are you looking to get?
I mean, I like Tubi so far, because I'm on there and like 3 other platforms. I'm on Apple TV, Plex TV, and Prime Video. Long-term wise, I would love to have a project on Hulu, have a project on Netflix, have a project on Paramount, Max. I love HBO and the whole world of Warner Brothers. But Tubi is where it's at right now, as long as the other projects as well. So I'll probably be sticking to them for a little bit because I have no problems with them so far, and they're actually giving us the opportunity that we need.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Major right now, you know what I'm saying? It's a major resource. It's like if you can really make some quality independent stuff, you can go up on Tubi, you know what I'm saying? And
Man,
you know, and do
yeah.
it consistently, you feel me, and you can also stand out, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, amongst other projects because it's so many, it's some classics on Tubi, you feel me?
It
Oh,
is,
yeah.
it is, it is.
Yeah. They got a lot.
Yes, yes. We are going to take a quick break and give a shout out to our sponsors, 24/7 Live Culture.
All right, so outside of filmmaking, you're creating a lane for other people to be spotlighted in your community. That's the Cinematic Affair Blackout event that you have. Go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah. So we started the Cinematic Affair back in 2021. The plan was for independent artists to come together, collaborate, and create unique, different type of projects. No matter the genre, the purpose of it was to come together and actually create something very monumental. Since 2021, we have definitely just been making the spotlight happen in Houston. The first year we sold out of the event. The second year we sold out of 2 theaters actually. And this year, we're planning to do the same thing. And we know that we was doing something outer box because this is not something that we usually do, like besides like film festivals, because we was up against like different type of movies at the time. We had to see exactly how it works with getting certain amount of seats and making sure that we can get a certain amount of theaters so we can actually showcase our projects to everybody and make it available to the public. But we definitely want to just bring that collaboration as much as possible, not only in Houston, but all over the world. And so we started in Houston, and our plan is to get out and go to different type of cities. We plan on doing a tour, showcasing our projects, but also inviting other people to join the lineup and just show the world exactly what they got. Like everybody has not seen all these projects, and that's the whole goal. The goal is to make sure that everybody in the world at least get a chance to put their eyes on what we do.
Yes, it looks like the collaborations are really working out. How important is collabing with other people, especially when you start bringing the cinematic affairs to different states?
Collaboration is such a very important thing to me. Like I love it. That's something that I've been doing since I first started in the industry. I believe in giving people the chance and the opportunity, because I somewhat had that, but didn't have it as much when I was younger. And that's the whole point of collaborating, giving people the opportunity to voice their artistry. A lot of people, they don't even have a platform or they don't know how to go about it. And they're always just trying to find like a guide. And so that's exactly what we do. If anybody is looking for a way to get started, or if they're looking just for advice, consultation, they can come to us, they can ask, they can come to the event, see what we do, and we can possibly figure out exactly how we can help them. Collaboration is something that we have to do in our community. It's better that we work together versus being divided, because that will never solve anything.
Right, right.
For sure, like I said, coming together that's definitely something that's going to elevate all of us as creators. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being able to create opportunities for others, what you're doing is absolutely amazing, especially as a Black independent filmmaker. You know what I mean? That's major. What advice could you give up to someone that's an upcoming filmmaker that's they've been sitting on this idea for a few months or a year and they don't know how to get started?
Definitely just get started. Don't procrastinate, because that's exactly what holds you back. You have a purpose in this industry. You might not know exactly what it is, but you need to make it happen one way or another. Putting off your dreams doesn't solve anything. It just, makes you prolong and you won't be able to reach your goal. So whether that's, going to school, or if you can't afford school, do YouTube University, find different type of internships, something along the lines to get started. Read, you got to read these books, or just take some kind of online classes just to get yourself started. Because in order for you to be the best, you have to learn from the best. And that's the only way you're going to be able to get where you want to be. So don't procrastinate, get it done, and learn as much as possible, because, that was the biggest thing for me, with me being like an editor, a graphic designer, an actor, director. I needed to learn all of that. And I wanted to make sure I didn't know just one thing. And it's always best to know a lot, especially if you want to one day own a company. You need to know these different roles. That way, you know exactly what's being talked about in these rooms. If you're confused and you don't know what's happening, people are going to be thinking like, oh, should you even be here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely. You have to really learn from the best to actually be the best. Studying tape, studying film, studying what people have done before you. There's a long history of dope Black filmmakers out there. Who
Yeah.
are some of the filmmakers that you like and admire?
Ron Coogler, shout out to him. That man has just created such an amazing platform, from Fruitvale Station on to Black Panther, Creed, Michael B. Jordan. I love the way he directed the last Creed 3. That has been such an amazing experience just to see. There's a lot of other people I can't think off the top of my head, but those are definitely like my top two, especially Ryan Coogler. He's like one of my favorite directors.
You've taken a lot of major steps in your career so far. What has kept your faith in the industry? Because sometimes you can have your ups and downs, but what's keeping you to keep on pushing?
Uh, uh, that's a good question. You had me tongue tied. Family, friends, and legacy, especially legacy. Legacy is a big thing for me. I don't have any kids, and I plan on having them eventually later down the line. And I want them to have something, and I want to break generational curses. In my family, I'm doing something that's out of box. Nobody in my family, like, they're probably doing like music or just, something along the line of owning a business. But I'm doing something in the film industry that's like, I wouldn't technically say impossible, but, it can be a hit or miss. So that's my biggest thing. Legacy, family, friends, they encourage me to keep going. They definitely try to make sure that they support me as much as possible. And, they just stick with me along the ride, because it's hard doing this by yourself. You have your moments to where you want to quit. You have your moments where you want to just say like, yeah, this is not for me anymore. But when I left my job, I was like, I got no choice. I'm doing this.
Real. That's real. What are some of the hurdles that you've had to overcome?
Along the lines, I would say with doing collaboration, the hurdles would be being burned by other people in the industry. That's been the biggest thing, I can definitely say. And a lot of people in this industry, or that's about to come in the industry, need to understand and know that some people can go with you to the end goal and some people can't. Some people come for a season, some people come for a lifetime. And that's a lot of the things that I've been dealing with, just going on this journey, and some people just falling off the wagon. And most of the time it has something to do with, they want the spotlight, or they envy what we do, or they're jealous behind it. And I think that's something that nobody should do, because you never know what somebody is dealing with internally. It's always a me versus me moment. And I think nobody should ever do that. So that's been the biggest thing, because, they've been a part of the team, and, it's always best to separate as much as possible from certain individuals that's holding you back. And you'll always know exactly who's going to be there with you to the end goal. Shout out to my team, Shakobi Gentel, Jamal Williams, Q Shot You. They have definitely been on a journey with me, and we got this thing coming with the cinematic affair. And so, we've been through some stuff, but we're gonna make it.
Yeah, no doubt. I know that you balance so many hats, you know what I'm saying? And, how do you balance your schedule, like, to start the day, throughout the day? I know to elevate in this life, we have to study people that have obviously gone before us, and having the right schedule, having the right mind frame is important.
Yeah.
What does it take for you to become who you become?
That's a really good question. And my methods are starting to change a little more as I get older. But so far, I like to definitely just make sure that I get up and just breathe for a second. I'm the type of person that likes to. I gotta defrost whenever I wake up, and I gotta turn on some R&B music. R&B music is my thing that keeps me going. Music speaks to me, and it allows me to actually create. And so, when I'm hearing like certain beats or certain lyrics, it kind of gets me going and it allows the engine to drive. I watch movie trailers. Movie trailers are the things that give me the adrenaline to actually get on the computer and start, doing everything that I need to do. And that's pretty much it. Besides, communicating with everybody, I do a couple workouts here and there so I can kind of get myself together because I might be 26, but that metabolism is going to slow down pretty soon. So I can't be picking up as much weight as I'm already doing now. So I gotta make sure I stay fit.
Yeah, got to.
Yeah, where would you see yourself in 10 years? Like, what is your end goal that you want to be in this world, in this industry?
That's a good one. Okay, so definitely having my own building with my team inside of Houston, and hopefully we'll be able to expand the cinematic affair building where we're able to build up to have a major studio so we can have different type of projects filmed inside of it, and we can also do different type of marketing stuff. I love marketing and I want to open up my own marketing firm eventually one day, so I would like to do that in 10 years. Definitely have a lot more projects that's out and having partnerships with like Netflix or Hulu, hopefully Issa Rae. And definitely going back into the community and finding other young individuals that want to be in the industry. A lot of people have told me over the years, you should teach, you should spread your knowledge. The only reason why I denied it is because, I'm still in the process of learning everything, and I'd rather know a lot in order to start teaching people. Like, I have to be on the right path before I start telling people what path they should be on. So in 10 years, I definitely would love to host classes when it comes to, how to make films, how to make web series, how to edit, how to do graphics, how to do marketing, how to build your brand, because all of that is very important in this industry. And that's my way of giving back to the community, definitely making sure that, they have a resource to come to and learn from.
Absolutely. That's dope. That's a dope vision for sure. I like the vision of being able to obviously have your own building, have your own space to shoot your own stuff. Seeing Tyler Perry buy his own studios and everything like that is very inspiring. 50 Cent just bought some property too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He about to go crazy with that. And that's what we need though. We need to be able to have our own spaces so that we can produce our own films and we be able to produce our own content. It creates jobs for other people that look like us as well. You know what I'm saying? And many more opportunities, you know what I mean? And I think that's a collective goal too, especially having it in different places,
Yeah.
Texas, California, Atlanta, New York, I mean, wherever, you know what I mean? Detroit's doing some dope things in the film industry right now too. You know what I mean? It's a new day. You feel me?
Yeah.
You have to be the Hollywood star or the Hollywood studio to do some dope things anymore.
Right,
Yeah, you gotta do the impossible. You gotta definitely do the impossible and just think outside the box and just don't give up, because you're gonna have those challenges as a person that's, in the process of being like a big time CEO, because, eventually I would love my company to be $1 billion profit company. But that takes a lot of weight, in order to be a leader, you have to make sure that you're getting yourself on one accord and just patiently being there for yourself and others so you can get to where you need to be.
Yeah, so you're in Texas right now. Do you think you would ever relocate to any other state?
Yes, because I've thought about it over the years. Every time I come to California, I love LA. It's a different type of energy, it's a different type of creative vibe that I get, so I definitely love that. I don't know where exactly I will want to live just yet. I'm not too sure, but it's definitely between LA, New York. I been to Atlanta one time, but that was for work. But I wasn't able to explore the city enough to really say if I wanted to move there yet. So I can't really say Atlanta, but New York and LA, you know, I've definitely had them in mind. So we'll see. We'll see exactly where I'll be moving to in the next couple of years.
Yeah, LA's the place to be, bro. You know, just throwing that out there. You know, if you're
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us what's coming next. What's the next upcoming project that we can look at, and where can we find the rest of your projects at?
Okay. Well, for the season, you can definitely find it on Tubi. You can find it on Prime Video, Plex TV, Apple TV. Season is spelled SZN. And you'll definitely be able to find it on those platforms. Of course, the cinematic affair is happening in Houston. I have a short film project coming out called The Last Vlog that's going to be premiering there. It's found footage type of horror. Just think Paranormal Activity meets Unfriended. So that's the short film that I will be debuting there. I also have an appearance in the new comedy drama by Jacoby Gentel called Yo 40, and that's premiering at the Cinematic Affair, but it will be hitting platforms later on the year. After that, I'll be working on my brand new project called The Maxwell Gamble. It's a romantic drama that's a part of the season world. So I'll just be, you know, in the process of getting that together. Hopefully, I'll be able to start filming by the end of the year, if not the beginning of next year, and start on the season 2. So yeah, that's the journey that I got going on for the rest of the year.
That was not no little list, you know what I'm saying? My man kept laying it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Booked and busy already through the whole
Yeah.
entire year.
Can't think about it twice, and nah, I think I got he said I'm
Right, right.
what happened. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be though. For me, you
Yeah.
know, have the solid plan. You feel me? And you doing that. And thank you for coming and sharing your advice for people that's gonna be watching, other filmmakers, other creators. You know what I'm saying? You dropped some dope gems. Appreciate you, dog.
Oh yeah, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for having me, and thank y'all so much for having a platform such as this. You're giving the opportunity for people to voice, and I think that is very important. So thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much. We had Malcolm Dwain Carter on BoomBox Weekly.
Alrighty, we'll catch y'all next week.
You're listening to BoomBox Weekly.